Hey, peace, everybody. How y'all doing? Blessings to you all. Hope everyone is well. So I came across a video recently with Tariq Nasheed, and the video was entitled "The Mojaura Spirit Explained." Um, and he spoke about what he called Mojaura. He says it's a brand new spiritual essence that was developed within African Americans from fighting slavery and dealing with white supremacy. White supremacy is the antithesis of the Mojaura spirit, which means it's the opposite. White supremacy is what Mojaura is not. It is the complete opposite. And if it is true that that Mojaura is, or that white supremacy is the antithesis of Mojaura, what does that make Mojaura? Does that make Mojaura black inferiority, or would it make it black supremacy? Um, you know, for some reason, I think the answer is going to be black supremacy. Um, yeah, I think that's more of the antithesis of what white supremacy would be. It wouldn't be black inferiority. Um, and I think once we continue reading, we'll realize that in fact is what Mojaura Mo, Mojaura is. Mojaura comes down to pretty much to black superiority. Mojaura is in fact black supremacy. Isn't that something? Let's continue. He would also say, since it's an ethnogenesis based on the lineage of slavery, I guess he would also say that white supremacy is what caused the development of Mojaura within the slave population in America. But yeah, let's continue. So this is a new what he terms an ethnogenesis, which means it's the birth of a new ethnic group, and that African Americans, once they came here, they started a new lineage and created a new ethnic group, if you will, and that this new ethnic group has what's known as a Mojaura spirit from their experience here. In the Americas, or in America. So it was developed, and in order to fight against slavery, and it helped African Americans build what Tariq calls spiritual capacity. And it was that spiritual capacity that they used to fight against and to deal with white supremacy. And white supremacy is what he terms the antithesis of Mojaura. So it is what the spark that lit the Mojaura spirit, or is that the experience of white supremacy is what lit the spark or started the Mojaura spirit to be developed among the slaves and their descendants. So today we're gonna just talk about the Mojaura spirit, exactly what it is, and just see if it makes any sense at all. So let's try and make sense of the Mojaura spirit. We're gonna do our some quick research. You know how we do. And we're going to see where it takes us, and then, leave it at that. All right. So, first thing we're going to do is go to the Urban Dictionary, and we're going to the Urban Dictionary because Mojaura is a very, 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 very new term. So, you're not going to find it. At least I don't think we're going to find it in the dictionary. So we're going to go to the Urban Dictionary. I actually think Mojaura as a concept was invented maybe a month ago. But it's in the Urban Dictionary. So let's see what the Urban Dictionary says it is. And I also think Tariq Nasheed may have come up with this term as well. But let's see what the Urban Dictionary, how it defines Mojaura. It says Mojaura is a total blend word of mojo and aura, used by members of the American Negro ethnic group, referred to later in history as colored, freedmen, African American, Black, FBA, or ADOS, to describe the spiritual and moral essence that American Negro ethnic possess within them. So let me read that again in case it wasn't clear. It says, it's a total blend of the words mojo and aura, used by members of the American Negro ethnic group to describe the spiritual and moral essence that the American Negro ethnic possess within them. Yeah, so that's interesting. First thing that kind of jumped out at me was the idea of just how many different terms there's been for Black Americans. Colored, freedmen, African American, Black, FBA, ADOS. It's just always a constant kind of, transformation of their names. And it's interesting. It's very interesting. I don't know if there's another group, another ethnic group that is true for, where they just keep changing the name that they identify with. As a I know Jamaicans have always just been Jamaicans. Same with anyone from the Caribbean. They're just whatever they are. The only other thing they would be is Black or African. But there just seems to be a lot of transitioning in terms of the names and how African Americans represent themselves. But that was just one of the first things that stuck out to me. But I digress. So it's a blend of the words mojo and aura. So when I hear the word mojo, what comes to my mind is what's his name? Austin Powers, right? Yeah, Austin Powers, the guy with the, yeah, baby. And I'm wondering if that's the mojo, that if that's the aura, the mojo aura that African Americans are claiming to have, that yeah, baby aura. I mean, if it is, or maybe they'll claim that Austin Powers stole their mojo, like he just took their style, like they're the first ones that said, yeah, baby. You never know. They may actually make the claim. But that is what comes to my mind when I think of mojo. I think Austin Powers kind of made the term mojo and having mojo kind of, popular. But that was the first thing that popped in my mind. I'm gonna look up the definition of mojo. Let's see what the definition is in terms of the dictionary. It says mojo, a noun, a magic charm, a talisman, or a spell. Someone must have, and then it gives it in a sentence. Someone must have their mojo working over at the record company. So it's a magic charm. When you have mojo, when your mojo is working, it's kind of like your voodoo is working. You have magic powers, a talisman or a spell. So, that's what mojo is. It's kind of like, a supernatural spell or something supernatural. The other definition it gives is magic power. And it says in a sentence is, the name has no mojo. So mojo is wrapped around magic and spells. That is the I believe it's an African term, and that's the African root of it, is this idea of magic. Interestingly enough, that's also the root of the ancient Egyptian religion, is magic. The ancient Egyptian religion is actually called Heka. I hope I'm getting that right, but it actually stands for magic, and it's pretty much just voodoo. Um, you know, the religions and how religion manifests in Haiti, I would say, is very similar to how it manifested in ancient Egypt. And it's that same idea of magic or voodoo in ancient Egypt, as it is practiced in Haiti. So it's interesting for me that, FBA would choose mojo or that type of magic, and say that that's the type of spirit. They have the spirit of magic, or the spirit of casting spells. It's just interesting that that's how they would choose to define themselves. But let's see what else we can say about the definition. It says mojo is not a permanent thing. You could lose your mojo, which kind of makes sense, because people, they get their mojo back and stuff like that. And it says it's literally a magic charm bag. But these days you can have good mojo without all the baggage. But it's not permanent. You can have mojo one day, and then the next day you lose your mojo, and you kind of have to get it back. And that, again, is kind of what we've always understood about what mojo is. Now, the term aura in and of itself, the term aura doesn't really signify anything other than, what emanates, like, kind of is what emanates from you. So Mojaura, or just simply means you have mojo aura. I'll read the definition of aura as well. It says your aura is the distinctive atmosphere or quality that seems to surround and be generated by a person, thing, or place. So it's the atmosphere or quality that surrounds you. And with Mojaura, the quality is mojo, right? So the emphasis of the term Mojaura, all the emphasis is really on mojo, because aura in and of, you can have whatever type of aura. Everyone has aura, something that emanates from them. But with African Americans, their aura is their mojo or their magic. So that's the key term in Mojaura, is the term mojo. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. All right. Now the definition continues. It says, in spiritualism and some forms of alternative medicine, aura is a supposed emanation surrounding the body of a living creature and regarded as an essential part of the individual. Emotional, mental, and spiritual levels form an energy field around the body known as the aura. So again, I would say your mojo is that emotional, mental, and spiritual level that forms the aura around you. You have an aura of mojos. You have Mojaura. Yes. So let's see what else we can see. So let's go back and Let's go back to the Urban Dictionary and continue reading from the definition of what Mojaura is. Because, I'm trying to be as close to what they say it is. I don't want to use my own definition. It says a total blend word of mojo and aura used by members of the African American Negro ethnic group to describe the spiritual and moral essence that American Negro ethnic possess within them. So it represents their spiritual and moral essence. So the idea of magic, is still there, because once you mention spiritual, that's some magical stuff. So they still have the idea, the spiritual stuff in there. But let's see what else it says. It says, think of it as a unique, due to their lineage, non-physical essence within the American Negro, capable of enduring beyond bodily demise. Okay, that's interesting. It says it's unique due to their lineage. It's a unique, non-physical due to their lineage, but it's non-physical. That kind of doesn't make sense to me. Is it me? Does that sound like crazy? It's due to their lineage, but it's non-physical. But I thought lineage was physical. Isn't lineage about your DNA, which is physical, something physical? So they said it's due to your lineage, but it's a non-physical essence. It's a non-physical essence within you because of your lineage. Okay. I mean, maybe they're saying it's because of your experiences as an African American. That's why they say it's your lineage. So that's a little bit interesting. I'll use the word interesting, but let's continue. And it endures beyond bodily demise. So it is magic. It is magic. The mojo is absolutely magic. If it's something that endures after you die, we're talking about magic. It constitutes the essence of America and American culture and can what? Wait, hold on. How? It constitutes the essence of Mojaura. Magic. The same magic. Mojaura is how is that the essence of America and American culture? Magic, spells. How is that American culture and American? Talisman stuff. That's not American. That's very un-American. So it's as un-American as the fact that FBA has so many names representing themselves. And the reason they have so many names to represent themselves throughout history is because they really don't want to be American. American alone is too much for them, and they don't want to be that. FBA can be very un-American, which is quite interesting. But yeah, to say that mojo or magic or casting spells is the American essence is this. I don't know what to make of this. Okay, so it says it's the essence of America and American culture and can also influence geopolitics. And then it gives an example. It says that the 1980s anti-apartheid movement was started by a grassroots movement by a group of African-American leaders frustrated by South Africa's systematic racial injustice. So apparently, the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa was started by African Americans who were possessed with Mojaura. Yes. I don't think did Nelson Mandela have this Mojaura, or was it just, or did the African Americans just woke Nelson up out of his sleep and said, "Listen, we got to move"? It's quite interesting. Yeah. So I think, to get back to the the idea of Mojaura being the essence of America and American culture. I think that they are mentioning that to kind of highlight the point that they are foundational, or that they built America. So because they built America, I will assume that's what they mean when they say Mojaura is the essence of America or American culture. I'm just assuming that's what they're saying. Which is very, very interesting to me, because FBA are the same people that say America is built on white supremacy and slavery. So how is Mojaura the essence of America? That is, I mean, how do you reconcile that? The very essence of Mojaura, as Tariq Nasheed mentioned, the very essence of Mojaura came about through building spiritual capacity, and building spiritual capacity as a response to slavery and white supremacy, which is what America was built on, according to FBA, right? And that's what created their Mojaura. And so now this Mojaura is the essence of American culture. How is Mojaura the essence of America, and the people that possess Mojaura want reparations from America? Maybe I just misunderstand what y'all mean when y'all say Mojaura is the essence of America. Like, what do you mean by that? The essence of American culture? I thought white supremacy and racism and systemic racism was the essence of America and American culture. I thought that's what built America and American culture. Now you're saying it's this Mojaura? I'm going to need help, like, understanding this whole thing, because it all seems contradictory to me, and it just all seems just made up. It's so weird. It's so weird. In one breath, you want to, FBA wants to distance itself from Africa, because they're now their own ethnic group. They have an ethnogenesis. They want to distance themselves. It's just them. But then they have Mojaura, and Mojo is magic and voodoo from Africa. So it's just like, it's as if everywhere you turn, there's a contradiction. Everywhere you turn, there's a contradiction. And let me just say this. If Mojaura is the spiritual and moral essence that's within the American Negro, what happened to P. Diddy's Mojaura? Where was his morals? If it's some moral essence within you, did I take it P. Diddy lost his Mojaura or his mojo? Is that what happened? When you define it like that, are you assuming that morals, this moral essence, is something that is unique? That's unique to the African American? surely you don't think that is, oh no, it does say it's unique. A unique essence of morality. Did you look at that? FBA thinks very highly of themselves. They think they are, I think in a previous video, we in the series about the history of hip hop culture. When you get a chance, y'all should check out that series. But in that series, we spoke about the idea of hip hop being founded around the fifth element, which is mainly Islam, and the teaching that the black man is the original man, the creators of civilization. And I think that idea is what has made it possible for FBA today to be talking about they are foundational to America. It's that same idea of they're the original man, the gods of the earth. That's the same Mojaura that had them thinking they created Egypt. They're the ancient Egyptians. That same thing, that same idea that's seeped into their brain, that they are in fact the original man, the gods of the universe, the black man and woman. And that seems to be what the Mojaura Spirit is really about. They have what no one else has. They are God's chosen. They're the true Israelites. They're the Hebrew Israelites. They are, anyone original is them. The Moors is them. Everybody is them. They are the greatest of God's creation in their minds. Everyone is just there to be a part of the experience of their greatness. And that's what Mojaura is, the greatness of the African American. Instead of Mojaura, you may want to consider trying a true American essence. It's called patriotism. Try being, instead of changing the name you use to represent yourselves every decade, just refer to yourself as an American, because that's what you are. Just be an American. Try on patriotism. Try on love for your country. See how that works out for you. I think it may work out for you a lot better than the magic that you're relying on. Because that's really all it is magic. Yeah. Just be an American. Or is being an American not enough? Does being an American make you the same as everyone else, as every other American? And you want to be something better. You want to be foundational. You want to be better than everybody else. I hate to burst your bubble, but you're not. You're no more American than anyone else. FBA are no more American than any American immigrant. Immigrants are more foundational to America than slavery. The idea of immigrants coming here is really what's foundational to this country, not slavery. Foundational Black Americans are foundational to American slavery. But America is built on freedom, not on slavery. Immigrants People come here looking for the American dream. That's what America is built on. Innovation. That's what America is built on. Not on slavery. So you're not any more foundational than anyone else. We're all immigrants. Every single one of us. Some of us not by our will. But regardless, we're immigrants. And none of us are more American than anyone else. So I find this idea of Mojaura to be a very basic idea, kind of childish. People who want to exalt themselves. It's just silly. It's just a silly and childish concept. And I can't take it seriously. I gotta say, if I hear any of my African American friends, which I hope I'll still have after this video, or after these videos I've been posting, like if I hear one of y'all talking about y'all got Mojaura, man alive. Come on, y'all. Y'all can't be this gullible. Can't be this easy to, have you following just any old random thought given to you. But if you're foundational, let's be more American. How's about that? Why don't we be the foundational Americans we claim to be and be more patriotic? And patriotic means you're more loving to your fellow citizens. And your fellow citizens are all immigrants that are around you. So be the patriots we know you can be. You've worked long and hard for it. You've earned it. You deserve it. Make patriotism your reparations. Patriotism is reparations you will get easily because it's reparations that you give to yourself. So let's start with that. Let's replace the essence of Mojaura with the essence of patriotism. And let's be better Americans for ourselves, for our children, and for our fellow citizens. All right, catch y'all on the next one. Blessings.
I'm a war president. I make decisions here in the Oval Office in foreign policy matters with war on my mind.
We are the rocket launcher. They mama rocket. We are a rocket. We are the rocket, the rocket launcher. We are at war. We are at with ourselves. With ourselves. We are at war. We are at with ourselves. With ourselves. We're gonna bomb them. What children and women? What a lot of collateral damage in a moment is coming. They had it coming. What? Well, I've been summing it up and I've been counting on the ways that I hate your guts. I'm number one in charge of big bombing. Boys, I've been bombing. Storming Norman's armies coming to Saddam. Gomorrah and Saddam. Show 'em who's royal. Boy, will we take oil from them? Yup, we're gonna dumb them. Shoot your sons and televise the revolution so you know who is the one that's bombing you. Bomb them. Release Martin Lockheed on them. What beautiful ballistics. Try not to bleed on them. Yup, we're gonna run them. Nagasaki son them. Atomically bomb them. And take Saki from them. Yup, we're gonna dun them. When in Rome, it's so common like rumors of war. I told you. We are at war. We are at with ourselves. With ourselves. We are at war. We are at with ourselves. With ourselves. We are at war. We are at with ourselves. With ourselves. We are at war. We are at with ourselves. With ourselves. We're gonna bomb them. Radical Islamer, a master ass, you can feel us calming. We're suicidal bombing. Pardon, is that a rocket in your pocket, or you just happy to see us bombing? We're bombing shit to shift the ownership from Egypt to the Gaza Strip. We're straight bombing, bombing like Israelis 7 days a week. Cause rarely do we keep Saturday holy enough to not bombing. World War III on them, war games, push pawns on them to die, while the nights checkmate on them. Kingdom coming to an end. I'm drumming love battle songs of how bad I wanna crush and bomb them. Embalm them, then again, bomb them again. And for the live commentary, tune to CNN. For the dead coverage of me bombing them. A star-spangled harming them to peace. We'll have peace after I'm done bombing. Them have a rocket, hey, we have a rocket. What? We are gonna rocket, the rocket launcher. Them have a rocket, hey, we have a rocket. Whoa. We are gonna rocket, the rocket launcher. Them have a rocket, hey, we have a rocket. What? We are gonna rocket, the rocket launcher. Them have a rocket. Whoa. We have a rocket, hey, we are gonna rocket, the rocket launchers. We are at war, we are at war, with ourselves, with ourselves. We are at war, we are at war, with ourselves, with ourselves. We are at war, we are at war, with ourselves, with ourselves. We are at war, we are at war, with ourselves. We are at war, and I got the star to show. Hey look y'all, it's psychological like apocalypse y'all. It's the rise and the fall of man. It was orchestrated by his own hand. And damn, time to build up Noah's Ark again, to withstand the fire next time we burn the land. And my rocket launcher goes bang. And just a few years ago you was my man. And we shot Russians together. Now discussions are just like whatever, yeah whatever. Cause we could declare war is over, but still keep bringing home more dead soldiers. When peace is wartime, ceases our kind to live on this planet. Just one hot granite in space, with intimations of a human race at war with itself that costed itself when